it still one of the very few modern philosophical books which people outside academic philosophy find really helpful. It shares that distinction with C.S. Lewis's little book, The Abolition of Man, which shoots with equally deadly aim at the same target. Both books effectively debunk the colourful, fantastic screen of up-to-date reductive ideas inside which we live, a screen which, despite a lot of surface activity, has not actually changed much since they were written. As Iris puts it, a smart set of concepts may be a most efficient instrument of corruption, because as she explains, we are anxiety-ridden animals. Our minds are continually active, fabricating an anxious, usually self-preoccupied, often falsifying veil which partially conceals the world. What chiefly pierces that veil is a sharp, direct perception of things which are not part of our own being. For instance, I am looking out of my window in an anxious and resentful state of mind, oblivious of my surroundings, brooding perhaps on some damage done to my prestige. Then suddenly I observe a hovering kestrel. In a moment, everything is altered. The brooding self with its hurt vanity has disappeared. There is nothing now but kestrel. And when I return to thinking of the other matter, it seems less important. The veil, however, is persistent and terribly hard to detect. In every age, it subtly provides new, unnoticed ways of evading reality. Detecting those new forms is a prime business of philosophy. But of course, philosophers often find it no easier than other people. It is always a significant question to ask about any philosopher. What is he afraid of? During the 20th century, intellectual fashions have provided escape by claiming to isolate individuals progressively, first from God, then from their own societies. There is no such thing as society. And finally, from the rest of nature, thus crediting them with an extraordinary, supernatural kind of independence. At each stage, the reformers were rejecting genuinely oppressive claims. But at each stage, the real, practical reasons for this rejection were gradually forgotten, as one theorist after another, Nietzsche, Freud, Skinner, Heidegger, Sartre, Hayek, Dawkins, dived in to indulge in the exaggerated rhetoric which, when these elements were combined, added up to an extreme and reductive individualism. That extremism made it increasingly hard to think out any intelligent reconciliation which would bring together the best parts of their various campaigns. So, as Iris points out, what we got instead was a strange, half-conscious jumble composed of the most dramatic parts of each doctrine, because these parts were both the most exciting and the easiest to remember. The very powerful image with which we are here presented is behaviourist in its connection of the meaning and being of action with the publicly observable. It is existentialist in its elimination of the substantial self and its emphasis on the solitary omnipotent will. And it is utilitarian in its assumption that morality is and can only be concerned with public acts. The names of these doctrines may not be familiar to all of us, but, as she says, we are all familiar with the ideal figure who personifies them because he dominates the stories that we read and watch. He is the hero of every contemporary novel. This man is with us still free, independent, lonely, powerful, rational, responsible, brave, the hero of so many novels and books of moral philosophy. The raison d'etre of this attractive but misleading creature is not far to seek. He is the offspring of the age of science, confidently rational and yet increasingly aware of his alienation from the material universe which his discoveries reveal.